things are back up and running? Could this things are back up and running? Could this be things are back up and running? Could this be something that?
And into the front leg. And here we are, back up to full speed.
All of our youth groups are back up, going and strong, kind of this.
Where the firefly populations are back up, and there's been a
the Scandinavian countries are back up at the top again, right?
By the next day, patients are back up, and
with this recent rally, PEs are back up to 18, right?
Roaring back, and now otter populations are back up 100,000 plus, etc.
The property values are back up again, but the main thing is the
though we're back up over 350. Well, let's talk about the corn market. We're
potential on the wheat market is a great one.
8, and so we're back up to 8.
And tuna. Oh, but the stocks are back up. Yeah, that's what you.
I hope you all go to Greek theater when we are back up and.
March. She captioned the post. Live animal markets are back up and running.
Like the Holy Spirit, all I need to do is back up. All I need.
A little bit of time that morning was back up and running that day.
4 months later, I was back up on a snowboard.
And within an hour, it was back up to 102. So
4 months later, I was back up on a snowboard.
Guests. It was like she was back up on the podium, drawing
dollars a gallon. In 2021, by early 22, it was back up to over $3 a gallon.
Warwick plant was back up. By all accounts,
and when she did that, she was back up at a 99%. So that
I was like, okay, and I looked and the video was back up. So my original Q&A.
Her immune system was back up and working. She was then on
upon Matthias, and they were back up to a full complement of 12.
The Lake Michigan levels were back up to average or above average.
Beer today with these, now we're back up with more breweries.
End of the show, further apart than they ever were. Because one is back up in heaven,
and the other.
Doing this, and in 6 weeks' time, they were back up and running. But now many.
Some of the things we did add were backup safety systems, such as.
And they were back up to about 80% of the pre-COVID.
But by the time Peel painted the artist in his museum, the tusks were back up, properly oriented.
It'd be nice, but they were back up after the fact.
The refineries were back up and running shortly after Harvey, so gasoline production and therefore supply wasn't really
Friday. But now suppose we were back up to
genome with its diversity and ability to have backup genes may have
plan. If you don't have backup, you don't have a plan.
I have back up just a little bit. Since we
we have backup plans for our
Reserve. You have backup connections that can dance. Good thing they have backup.
You close this tab back up. When you want to rotate to the next battery,
2 videos because debates are unpredictable live events, and they wanted to have backup in case one of the candidates.
And wondering, do I have backup? Did you?
facility. So see why it's so important to have backup users in each facility, because if
how do I make sure that I always have electricity, or how do I have backup batteries to make
We now have a backup drone.
Backup capability. He has backup capability. He has backup capability.
Military. Well, that is the supreme leader, but he has backup in the form of the defense minister. Military. Well, that is the supreme leader, but he has backup in the form of the defense minister.
Of years, and it has backup right now in quantum of years, and it has backup right now in quantum physics.
Line nosed up again.
Back up. Hold on, I'm going to back up. Hold on, I'm going to back up. First, I'm going to hold on, I'm going to back up.
So I'm going to back up on your history a little bit. I think you were. So I'm going to back up on your history a little bit. I think you were.
So all you have to do is think, I'm going to back up a car. So all you have to do is think, I'm going to back up a car. Instantly.
But I'm going to back up a second. I'm going to tell you a little about But I'm going to back up a second. I'm going to tell you a little about my story. But I'm going to back up a second. I'm going to tell you a little about my story.
Well, I think so. I'm going to back up because of one of the things that you said. I think part. Well, I think so. I'm going to back up because of one of the things that you said. I think part.
So, I am going to back up and engage. So, I am going to back up.
So when you look at it, like, all right, I'm going to back up because sometimes. So when you look at it, like, all right, I'm going to back up because sometimes.
Pieces of data that will back up my assertions about how powerful.
Theory anyway, intersections outside of a highway will back up onto it, again, because
causing problems, it will back up and impact. Causing problems, it will back up and impact not just farmers but bankers. I've talked about.
You can even configure how often file history will back up with options ranging.
So when you target the MSDK, we will back up all your. So when you target the MSDK, we will back up all your stuff.
On the same page, it will back up and let you make the art that needs to happen.
And now we must show that we will back up those words with deets. And now we must show that we will back up those words with deets.
The scientific studies that will back up what I'm trying to say. But
a half-penny sales tax that will back up the LSRA should it ever fall.
And you can get knocked down and get back up again, and you believe in failure. So just to back up and explain, the only thing I have ever wanted to be for my.
And it's called failing in life and getting back up again. But those failings, they eat at us.
That you can call on, that you can reach on, that can make you get back up. Find that reason.
And to use data to back up those decisions.
And was able to consume enough calories to bring her blood sugar back up.
And then bring the temperature back up to 338 degrees.